And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, come one, come all, to the Cosmic Countdown, the greatest movie countdown show on the internet and in the entire world and universe and everything else. I'm just my 2 cents. I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Aaron the Dog. Like I said, Cosmic Countdown, if anyone is new, this is where we count down our top 100 favorite movies. We do 5 per week. We have cranked through a lot of fucking good ones. And today we are going to be covering number 35 through 31. This countdown has been a blast. It has been a labor of love, really, for me. And I'm looking forward to this next week. Aaron, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Glad to be back here. We're getting into the upper third after today or through today.
Yep.
So definitely getting more contentious at some points with depending on the movies brought up or not brought up. So should be interesting.
Definitely. And I want to, before we get too deep into this, well, first of all, shout out to my much better half for making this dope ass overlay. Shout out and salute to the greatest group chat in the world, the Dome, where my old bud and Aaron actually met. So shout out to the Dome. And I am glad that you brought that last thing that you set up, because I would like to address something before we move on into this week's countdown.
Sure.
Now, last week, like you said, it got pretty contentious and got a little spicy. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. But I want to say a couple things, make a couple public announcements, and then we can press forward.
Can't wait to hear these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you. Yeah, you can't wait. Definitely. So, first and foremost, I want to apologize for a couple things. One, for outright dismissing, first of all, the existence of Paprika and the fact that it was a clear influence on Inception. So I did watch Paprika. It was awesome. It was a great anime. That's usually not always my kind of movie, like genre-wise, but I will say, dude, it is one of the better movies and certainly one of the better animes that I've seen like that. It was really trippy, definitely ahead of its time, like obviously groundbreaking and influential. And yeah, dude, I have to give it a solid, like I said, not my kind of movie, but solid 8 out of 10. The animation is insane. And I definitely have to recommend it for anyone that has not seen it. And you can see the clear 2 scenes in particular stood out. They were just like Nolan definitely grabbed this right from Paprika. Obviously, the shattering glass, that's the most obvious one, where it's like she touches the glass and the ship breaks. That happens in Inception. And also the hallway where the dreamer gets shaken up and they go into suspended animation in the hall. Those are both clearly like, okay, you got this idea from that.
Correct.
I found the movies to be, for the most part, like I think there's more that's like dissimilar to them than similar, but the fact that Nolan hasn't acknowledged that he at least like got the idea of the shared dreaming and at least a couple of the scenes is like, that's pretty disingenuous, man. Like that's kind of arguing in bad faith, honestly. And speaking of arguing in bad faith, I also want to apologize for shitting on Memento. One, because I was definitely triggered, and that was kind of like me arguing in bad faith. Memento is not that bad. It's like I more or less stand by a lot of the things I said, but it's not a bad movie. It's like a 7.5 for me after a few rewatches. And definitely like the things you were saying about like, dude, remember like the first time you saw it and how crazy it was. Like that's true. Like, and it was like, so again, it probably was higher for me, like in the 2000s themselves, but I can't outright dismiss it either. So there's that. Secondly, I kind of like broke my own rules. Like we're both like reasonably intelligent dudes and we both watched a lot of movies. And if we wanted to, we could sit here and just slice and dice the fucking mincemeat. Like we could both do it on everyone. I think there's a time and a place for that, but I don't really want this show to be about that. So I'm sorry. I did that. I broke my own rule and I made it contentious and confrontational and more like a debate or whatever. And I don't really want to do that. This is like supposed to be a movie appreciation show. Things got heated. I hope the fucking audience enjoyed it. We had a little like Nolan duel there, but I don't want it to be like that. So I'm sorry for doing that. And moving forward, like I'm just gonna like do what I said I would do and just like I can usually find at least one positive thing. I mean, I'll be honest about how I feel about it, whether I really like it or not, but I can find at least something to say or just not really, just kind of let you have it or whatever. So moving forward, I just wanted to address that. Paprika was awesome. Nolan needs to quit being a punk. I still like Inception more, quite a bit, but I have to acknowledge its existence. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. And yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, and I got no more Nolan on my list, so
neither do I. And of course, the one fucking movie I don't even like the motherfucker that much as a director. Like that's like the one movie that I really like that stands out to me, and it's just the rest of them are just kind of like
yeah. So, I'm not the big So no more Nolan, no more arguing. You want to lead us off today?
Sure. Let's do it, man. So, like I said, this is number 35 through 31. Let's see, we got one comment in the chat. I would like to apologize. Absolutely nobody. What up, Noah? All right, so definitely take your seats, get your popcorn, get your bowls, whatever. The Cosmic Countdown is about to commence once again. We are at number 35. Aaron and I have punted 8 times so far today. Will we see another punt? Will we field a punt today? Only time will tell. Coming in at number 35 for me. This is late 90s. Most people, if they haven't seen it, they at least know about it. The director is very well known at this point. And this is the one that kind of, not the one that blew him up, but this kind of put him on the map to like film heads and like fans of this genre. So number 35 for me is the British crime thriller comedy, whatever. The one that started it all, Lock, Stock.
All right.
So Lock, Stock for me, like most people, you ask them about Guy Ritchie, they're gonna say Snatch, like, and that's fine. Like I like Snatch. It's not on my list, but I love Snatch. Like it's definitely more mainstream. That's the one that really like made Guy Ritchie a superstar director. But Lock, Stock for me I've always just kept that one a little bit more near and dear to my heart. It's a comfort movie for me. It's a movie that was like in rotation. I would just like put it on to go to sleep to. I just think it's really funny. I think it's aged really well as far as like the snappy, like, it's fucking funny, dude. Like the dialogue is hilarious. Like the characters are quirky and interesting. It has the classic Guy Ritchie tropes of being like, smart ass, like British gangster dudes, like doing some greasy shit. But I think this one is really good. I laugh my ass off every time I watch this. The plot is crazy, intricate, and yeah, dude, a lot of great characters and memorable lines for me. And yeah, comfort movie, totally one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with Guy Ritchie, and I think this is definitely one of his better movies. Like, I think this and The Gentleman are like my 2 favorite of his. I'm not a huge Snatch guy, but the movie, I think of those 2, like Lock, Stock, I think doesn't get the credit it deserves. So
I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. It wouldn't have made my list, but I mean, the last time I saw it several years ago, and I still really enjoyed it. So I think it holds up. I think it's underrated. So yeah, I respect it on the list. I don't have any problem with it though.
Yeah, it's like it's a good time. Like it's Jason Statham smoking weed, and like it's got a lot of funny one-liners. It's a total dude movie, but it holds up pretty well. And yeah, I think it fits in nicely in the top 50.
Yeah. All right. My number 35, definitely not a dude movie at all. It's from 1948, and it's called The Red Shoes. So I'm gonna assume you've never even heard of it, never seen it, and
I'm trying to think if I've heard it. No, I've not even heard of it.
yeah, totally fair. Like it is a movie I found on the Criterion Channel a long time ago, and it is honestly like one of the most like beautiful movies I've ever seen, like from like a cinematic standpoint. And it tells a really good story just of like an aspiring ballerina and her dedication to dance. It's actually does mirror in a lot of ways and kind of have a similar theme and structure to Black Swan, but it is like it's kind of interesting the routes they go with it and everything, and it shows like emotional stress really well for a movie from the 40s as well. And the dancing and the music is like excellent. The two directors, Emmerich Pressenberg and Michael Powell, they're known as the Archers, and they've made some of the like best movies that I feel like people don't like realize. Another one that I really recommend is A Matter of Life and Death. Both these movies are just kind of movies that once you see them, you're like, wow, I don't know why I hadn't seen these sooner. And I don't think you have to be in a dance or anything particular to get into this. And like the final climax, like is it really does lead to like one of the best final acts I've ever seen. And yeah, big fan of it. Not gonna have anybody you've heard of in it, but honestly, it's worth a watch to anybody who can, can kind of see the interesting storylines with it. It's on the Criterion Channel. It's on HBO Max. And it sounds like it's just going to be a boring older movie, but it's got some pretty modern like themes to it and everything like that. And again, I'm not a big dancing person. I'm not into ballet or any of that, but I don't think you have to be into this movie. So I'm pretty sure that Scorsese said it's the most beautiful movie ever made as well. That's one of the reasons I saw it. I think I was watching a list that he was making. So
Nice.
yeah, highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Is it is it a psychological thrill? I like not exactly like Black Swan, but is it like a
it's definitely got like psychological aspects to it for sure. It reminds me of Black Swan in a lot of ways again.
Okay. Do you know if that like did Aronofsky cite that as an influence or one that he like?
Not one. I don't think he admitted it at least, but yeah, it definitely appears it was one.
Right on. Cool. Well, and you said that was 48?
1948. Yep.
Man. So another one probably ahead of its time.
Yeah. It's a really like don't even think you have to be in a particular mood to put this one on. It will surprise you if you give it a chance.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely down to do that every now and then. Just like, you know what? I would never watch this movie like normally, but usually when I do that, I end up being like pleasantly surprised. So
yeah, I was not expecting it to be as interesting and kind of go the different directions it did. I was like, God, The Red Shoes is just going to be some old 40s musical.
Right.
And it's not all it was.
Yeah, well, I think it gets the blessing from Scorsese too, so maybe I have to check it out.
Yeah, he said literally the most beautiful movie of all time.
That's rather high praise. Well, yeah, maybe I have to see what's up.
Yeah, it is like it's got like great Technicolor in it and everything like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, my number 34 is we're gonna go polar opposite. We're gonna take that brow pretty low. I'm not gonna say like the lowest brow, but it doesn't get a whole lot lower. We're going to silly comedies. That is the genre. Most people, you hear this and you'd be like, dude, what the fuck is this doing in a top 100 period, let alone like a top 50? Again, these are my favorites, not the best. But this one, this is another one I can't help myself. Like, ever since I saw it, it's been one of my favorite comedies. It's been out for almost 15 years. and I think it's one of the better comedies that's come out in the last 15 years. Let's see. Let me get the avatar ready. So yeah, my number coming in at number 34. Let me actually get my movies up. Not been good at that. Failing as a fucking producer, but all right, here we go. Number 34. Very silly, but I think it's awesome. I will defend it to the death, but I'm not even trying to do that. This movie cracks me up. Number 34, 21 Jump Street. I can't help it. It's too funny. The chemistry between Hill and Tatum is just too natural and too good. Like, Channing Tatum is so good in this role, like nerding out with the fucking like the science dweebs, and Hill like juxtaposition, like the once nerdy dude that like becomes cool in the new like more accepting like generation of like high school kids. I think it's a hilarious fucking high school movie. I think it's one of the better high school movies that's come out recently. All the side characters are fucking hilarious, dude. Rob Riggles role in this is one of my favorites of his. I think it kicks the shit out of the one he does in Step Brothers. He's hilarious as the gym teacher, and Chris Parnell as the drama teacher. Like, all the bit roles are hilarious. Jake Johnson is the principal. There's a lot of good like small bit roles and cameos and shit, but it's really like the chemistry between Tatum and Hill. Jonah Hill is definitely one of the funnier comedic actors like of his generation, and like Channing Tatum is like surprisingly good in these roles, and he fits this one perfectly where he's the believable, like, you know, the badass like cop, and also the like, you know, with a heart of gold and like not as dumb as he appears or whatever. So man, I think this movie's awesome. I think it hits on a lot of different levels. It's like a silly ass comedy. It's a great like buddy cop movie, a great like, I don't know, like people like not getting pigeonholed and like, you know, discovering who they are, all that shit, whatever. I think it fucking rocks.
Jeez. Yeah. 21 Jump Street, just powerful at bridging the gap between
it does, dude. It you know, I think it cured cancer. So
yeah. Yeah. No, I like this movie fine. It's a great, you know, I love a good buddy cop movie, and they don't make enough of them anymore. I don't know. Even after this, they didn't start making some more. I guess they tried with a few, but R.I.P.D. and a few other ones, but still.
I think only The Nice Guys has like, and I like The Nice Guys. I think only that's the only one I can think of that's like worth.
That's worked, yeah. But no, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Jonah Hill's great. Channing Tatum's great as well. So
Ice Cube is the fucking captain.
I was gonna say Ice Cube. Awesome. Yeah. So, and I think the sequel wasn't bad either. So
it wasn't, dude. For a comedy sequel, those always suck. And
right.
like, it was good, man. I think it was a good little.
I could easily see them coming back to this series at some point, because I feel like that's kind of how most people feel about 21 Jump Street. So I don't really have a problem with this. Yeah, it's good movie. Nowhere near my top 200, but that's just because not many comedies were.
That's no, yeah, this movie, yeah, it changed a lot of people's lives for the better. So
yeah,
that's
well said. Well said.
Probably too high, but whatever, dude. It was going to be on the list at some point.
Oh no, that's fine. It's your list. Don't poo-poo it. All right, my next movie, number 34, going back to the 70s, 1973. I think I've worn this shirt on the show before. Didn't wear it this week, but it's Sidney Lumet's Al Pacino starring Serpico.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this movie, I think it's just one of the best movies of the 70s. One of the best New York City movies ever. Just about a cop going against a corrupt system, and it's based on a true story as well, which was kind of cool. But yeah, it's just kind of like the price that like an honest cop is paying, both with cops and criminals, as he's trying to like do the right thing, basically. And it starts with him getting shot in the face, and it's just a really crazy, it's honestly one of the best gangster movies ever. It's about the police, so kind of, ahead of its time, but at the same point, like it's just a good movie. The performance by Al Pacino is awesome. I really, really just think it's one of his best ever still to this day. Yeah, like I there's so many good corrupt cop movies, and I think this one's like the best of that genre.
Dude, yeah, Serpico rocks, dude. And totally ahead of its time and a lot of staying power, dude. Very, very, very timely considering, it was the fucking 70s and like, yeah, a lot's changed, but some things haven't changed. Like,
Yeah,
when it comes to,
this
like,
movie is
the
50
power.
years old.
Yep. And yeah, great, dude. I totally agree with what you said about it being a great like 70s movie. It like has that awesome New York City like 70s feel to it. And it's like ahead of its time, but still like, feels very much like right there in the moment. Which is like, yeah, it's an awesome performance from Pacino. One of his like better like, want to say one man performance, but where he's pretty much like carrying the show. Like, yeah, Serpico rocks.
Yeah, Sidney Lumet is just an amazing director. Like everything he does. So
Very underrated.
I'll be talking about Sidney Lumet again very, very soon.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, Serpico. It's one that I just feel like it gets brought up, but I don't think it gets brought up like in that high echelon the way it should be.
Dude, it gets name dropped, but people don't really like either like haven't seen it or like don't really know how good it is. Like you've seen like a scene from it or something, or like you've seen it parodied in like Always Sunny or some shit,
Exactly.
Yeah. Comment. Hope everyone is enjoying the show. Moy's audio. Yeah, good to see you too, Moy's. What's up? Nah, man. Definitely thank y'all for being here. The tickets are free as always. Requires only that you smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, classic Al Pacino cop gangster movie, bro. That's fucking sick. Now, my 33 is we're just gonna keep it silly. We're just gonna have a silly, silly time. And we're gonna get even more classic. This is one of the This might no, you know what? Not might be. This is the oldest movie on my list, and we're keeping it in the 70s, my friend. Like, what year did you say Serpico came out? You are muted.
73.
73. Okay. I think this is just a couple years later, so we're keeping it early mid 70s. At most, goddamn near everyone has seen this movie. But I can't get enough of it. I don't watch it like as much as some of the other ones, but every time I do, it never gets old. It truly is a timeless classic for a reason. Frankenstein. I mean, look at that shit, dude. This is literally a movie where like facial expressions and like exclamations and just like side eyes are like have not been used better. This movie cracks me the fuck up. Wilder knocks it out of the park. He is totally Senegal. Like, dude, he is like totally unhinged in the best fucking way possible. This is my favorite Mel Brooks movie. It's not the only one that I like, but it's certainly my favorite. What's his name? Marty is it Marty Feldman? Am I making that up? Am I making that name up? The guy that plays Igor. Actually, it's pronounced Igor.
I can check. I don't think it's Marty Feldman, but you might be right.
It is Marty Feldman. God, knew it. Thank God. I make shit up sometimes, like where I think I know.
Oh yeah, Marty Feldman does play Igor. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's there, Wolf. There, Castle. So like this movie is a fucking classic for a reason, and yeah, it was. I had it a little bit higher, scaled it back a bit, but it's got to be somewhere in the top 50 for me. Like I said, maybe not as watched as some of the others, but it never gets old when I do watch it. I watch it every Halloween at least. So
Yeah, no, I like this one. I really do like. I'm a big Mel Brooks guy, so I have a few Mel Brooks that are a little ahead of it for me with Spaceballs
Sure.
and History of the World Part One.
Dude, those
Uh,
are great. I
High
love those.
Anxiety is really up there as well. But yeah, I like this one. There's just a few I prefer from Mel Brooks. So when I was making my list, probably History of the World Part One would be closest to making my list.
Right on. Yeah, dude. Like, I find that to be true across the board. Like, everyone's got their favorite Mel. People that like Mel Brooks, everyone's got their favorite. I don't think anyone is really like right or wrong, but this is mine. Yeah, man. I can't get enough of it, man. It's too silly. Like,
It's well made. It's well made for sure.
Peter Boyle is ridiculous and awesome, and like Wilder just, yeah, quiet dignity. No, 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 no. I don't want to live. I do not want to live. Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love it.
No, respect. Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't seen it too many times, but I like it.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. On to what? My 33 now?
Yeah, I can just keep your banner up because I didn't take it down like I said I fucking would. Just there we go. Ready to go.
Perfect. Look at you on top.
I know, dude. I'm a good producer, dude.
My number 33, I believe that I've had David Lynch on the list already once, but he's making his return to the list with the 1990s Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart, nice, dude.
Yes.
I have actually fucking seen this movie, so I can talk a little Wild at Heart with you.
This movie's fucking wild.
It is insane.
Yeah, it is like it really is a taking the Wizard of Oz, putting it on the ultimate acid. Sailor and Lula are on the run from a bunch of weirdos after Lula's mom has hired someone to kill Sailor. So Sailor in a snakeskin jacket. It represents his individuality. The dialogue in this movie is just so fucking fantastic. It's maybe Nicolas Cage's best role ever. This and Vampire's Kiss for me. Laura Dern is super solid. Willem Dafoe perfectly casted. As
my god, he's so
Bobby
fucking
Peru.
creepy in this movie,
Yeah,
dude.
Crispin Glover, also fantastic in this movie. Just Harry Dean Stanton is incredible. And I just think it's some of David Lynch's best here. It is really another movie that kind of can go as deep as you want to go with it. Whatever level you want to really look at it on or enjoy it on, you'll be able to. Yeah, I just think Nicolas Cage and David Lynch are a match made in heaven as well. So, yeah, I really do think that Sailor is one of the best Nicolas Cage characters ever, and I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan, so had to get him on the list at least one more time.
For sure, dude. I hope I'm spelling the name right. For Mills here. What's up, Mills? Yeah, we just did the podcast a little earlier, dude. Yeah, man.
Really?
Dude, I love Never Ending Story. RIP Artex. That is still a fucking tough one to get through, dude. That one. How is that a fucking kids movie? That movie is rough, dude. Like, god damn. That's a movie that's aged really well. I fucking love Never Ending Story.
It's a banger.
Yeah, it's fucking good stuff, man. Good to see you, Mills. All right, so yeah, Wild at Heart, dude. This is one that I had heard it was good, and I was like, you know what, I gotta check this out. Lynch is pretty renowned for his like surreal, crazy fucking movies, wild camera shots, and like biting dialogue and weird fucking characters, and like this has all of it, dude. I was blown away. I was like, man, this movie is fucking insane. Like, it gets fucking real and creepy and crazy and just like boom, 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 boom. It's just like it changes like tone so quickly, and like it is a wild ride.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it does really. Yeah, it's just a beautiful looking movie too, and yeah, I mean it's definitely it's Lynch kind of at the beginning of him really starting to unravel more and more. So I still think it's kind of more easy to follow than a lot of his other stuff.
Agreed.
So yeah, it's a great movie.
Good stuff, man. Let me put Serpico and 33 is Wild at Heart. Yeah, dude, Nick Cage doing his like karate Elvis dance in the middle of the fucking road.
Doing a speech about how his snake skin Jackson jacket gives him individuality.
Yeah, man, it's so random and crazy.
Yeah, it's a wild one. Good. Very aptly named movie.
No shit, man. Some titles, it's like, what, you just picked this out of a hat, and this one is like right to the point.
Yep.
All right, so this is one that this is very polarizing, and I won't be surprised at all if you were like, fuck this movie. And I would totally understand. So I do not begrudge you at all if this is not your cup of tea. But dude, I just fucking relate to this movie on a lot of different levels. And it's like, I'm not a huge fan of this director, but this is probably like, not probably, it is my favorite one of his. It might be a little too high. It was going to be somewhere in my top 50. But I watched it, and you know what? Nah, this is probably about right. So without further ado, coming in at number 32, this movie, when I first saw it, I didn't really know what to expect. It's based off of Another Medium, and I have never seen that or anything, but I don't really need to, and I don't need to. There's like another show out about it now too, and I'm good. But this movie fucking rocks to me. I think it's hilarious. I think it kicks ass, and yeah, I think it fits in nicely. Number 32, coming in, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think some people, I get it. Like, if you can't relate to this, but dude, if you've ever been in a shitty band, if you have ever had to deal with like ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, if you have ever had to if you were a retro gamer or like a 90s gamer or a fighting game gamer, like, you can relate to this fucking movie. I think I love everything about this movie. The visuals, the jokes, the fucking fight scenes, I'm not a big Michael Cera fan, but I think he's great in this role as like the fucking like dry Canadian, like sarcastic humor. It is just like, he is perfect for that, dude. Brandon fucking Routh as Todd. He is so good. Chris Evans as Lucas Lee is like one of my favorite fucking like smart ass side characters. I love it, man. Dude, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's nice. So that doesn't hurt either. And dude, yeah, all the characters are great. I'm not a big Edgar Wright guy, but I think his directing style and his like eye for like visual shit and crazy like wackiness on screen just is perfect here, man. Like, being someone that played video games, someone that was in a shitty band and got fucking kicked out of it, someone that has had like, women troubles like here and there, dude, this fucking movie speaks to me on a lot of different levels. I think it fucking kicks ass. I'm a sucker for Schwartzman too, so like I love everything about it.
Yeah, man, I completely agree. I'm not a huge Edgar Wright fan at all, but this is by far my favorite Edgar Wright. Yeah, and I think it's very authentic to the audiences it's trying to represent in the movie. So,
yes, sir. You can tell it was made. You can tell it was made for musicians and gamers.
Yeah, and it just feels like it was way ahead of its time once again, which is why when it came out, it kind of got ignored a little bit, and it's just gotten more popular over time. But yeah, no, I love this movie. beautiful, holds up to this day. I think that like Scott Pilgrim is an asshole. That's part of the point.
Dude,
Like,
that's totally the fucking point. He's a fucking philanderer. If you have never fucked around and tried to date two women at the same time, you might not be able to relate to this movie, but it is goats accurate. You feel like a fucking prick. You feel like you're like, oh, let me just jump ship. Oh shit, I made it to I'm home base. I'm on the other platform. Like I made it, but it's gonna come back to bite you. Like, dude, this movie speaks to me, bro.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm definitely not part of that camp that's kind of gone back and like tried to judge it and been like, oh no, it's not good. It's an asshole getting rewarded or something. Like, no.
Dude, like, you haven't watched the end of the movie then. Like, that's how he's able to never mind. They're not gonna get it. Like, that's the whole point. Is like,
yeah.
that's the hero's journey, bro.
I understand.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, let's not have a flawed hero. Let's have a fucking Gary Stu. Cool. You criticize the Mary Stu all the time. No, let's have a Gary Stu. Whatever. But yeah, I love Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
I love.
I do too.
You fuck with it too.
Yeah. All right, we're on to the my number 32. We are fielding one of our early punts, I believe this was, with David Gordon Green, yes, of Exorcist fame, of Your Highness fame. Pineapple Express makes its return. 2008's Pineapple Express.
Let's go. Yeah, this was I guess, technically it would be a punt because this was an honorable mention of mine. So yeah.
Oh, okay, it wasn't a punt. Okay, my bad. I'm mistaken.
Pretty close though. It was an honorable mention, so that's probably what made you think.
Yeah, I made my 32. It's what this movie did. It was before so many other great comedies afterwards. I think kind of would be influenced and cleared to do. I do feel like this was like the stoner comedy of my like growing up. This was my Cheech and Chong for my generation. Anything like that. I feel like it was Seth Rogen at his comedic best. I feel like James Franco's never been better either. Like this is just a great time, and like everybody's just like Gary Cole's so great in it. Rosie Perez, like. I mean, it's got that like right blend of action and comedy that make it like one of those just perfect mid-2000s like stoner comedies. And the Bill Hader bit at the beginning, Danny McBride, like everybody's at the top of their game here. Still one of my favorite midnight. I went to the midnight opening screening of it. Everybody was smoking in the theater. Like it's just like kind of one of those moments you can't really like top in a way, so it's hard to separate that from the movie for me. But
dude, for sure,
yeah, it's still just it's a great time, and like yeah,
it is.
I can't hate on it, man. It's one of my two favorite comedies ever.
Honestly, dude, if I was to make this list again, I could probably think of one that I could bump and put Pineapple Express in there. And like if I did it all over again, I'd probably put Pineapple Express on there somewhere. Dude, it is like I agree with everything you said. It's fucking hilarious. Like Franco as Saul, he is one of the best like stoner characters ever to me. Like what? Fuck Jeff Goldblum, man. Like got a great job, got a great girl. You got a great girl and a great job. You don't do anything, just smoke weed all day. Wish I had that. You do have that. Like what? Like it is a very much a comfort movie. It's a very like a feel good stoner. Like you can just sit down and get stoned. It feels like an afternoon of sitting down with like your buds and getting stoned.
Yes,
and being carefree.
Absolutely,
love it, man. Good shit. And like I said, I would probably if I had to do it all over again, I would stick it somewhere on the list for sure.
Yep.
What's up, Jesus, man? Good to see you. Yep. Dude, and great soundtrack too, man. Great reggae soundtrack, dude. Yep. It's got fucking Wanted Dreader Alive. Mm. Good shit.
He gets the Snickle Fritz.
Yeah. Lingerer.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Yeah. Gotta put on a persona. So, yeah, man. Good to see you, Jesus. Homie Noah. It is, man. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to agree. Gotta put it up there. Good stuff, dude. So, coming in. Oh man, we have been cranking through these. We're at my number 31. So we are gonna field another punt, my friend. This one was punted by yourself very early in the countdown, and you coffin cornered me at about the 3-yard line, but we're gonna field it right now. And I watched this movie, and I was in fucking tears, dude. This movie is so goddamn funny. I do like fucking Elliot, dude. Bronson Pinchot. I was crying, dude. You want me to suck his dick? Oh, who the fuck is Dick? Oh, okay. Like every line of his is gold. This movie's so insane. It's kind of like similar to Wild at Heart in that it is just like boom, 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 boom. They're one place or in the other. It's like a cross-country trip. Mm-hmm. It's the fucking... You can definitely tell that it was written by Tarantino. It's got the classic Tarantino tropes, the sharp, wise-ass dialogue, the dropping of the N-bomb, all the Tarantino writing shit that he always fucking has. The edgy shit. But it's directed by Tony Scott. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a beautiful fucking combination because Tony Scott has a directing style and a stylishness to the way he directs action scenes that I think work. I don't know if Tarantino, it would have worked if he was the director and the writer. So I think it's Tarantino's like writing with Scott's directing. I just think that is just a fucking match made in heaven. And this movie cracks me the fuck up, man. It has just a ton of memorable performances, and yeah, good dude. You can say, the female character has she's a fucking call girl or whatever, and blah blah blah. But dude, when she fucking gets her get back on Gandolfini, that is like, I'm trying to think of more of like prime female like rage and like retribution and like woman scorned. Like that is some powerful shit, man. Like when she's fucking screaming and like starts beating him with a shotgun, like dude, she really went all in. I think all the characters did. I'm not a huge Michael Rappaport dude, but Dick Ritchie is a classic character. Brad Floyd is a classic character. Condescend me, man. Like he's a great stoner character. This movie is insane. Fucking Saul Rubinek as God, what's his name? I'm blanking on the guy's name in the movie, but yeah, it's hilarious. This movie had me cracking up. Chris Penn, like it's wild too because there's like this kind of core cast, and then as they go out to California, like whole second half of the cast is introduced, and it's almost like a whole nother movie, but it's the same one. It's like I fucking love True Romance, dude. It's an insane movie.
Yeah, and the scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken.
Oh, dude, Walken is. You tell the angels in heaven, you never seen evil so singularly personified in the face of the man that killed you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could go on all day quoting True Romance, but yeah, man, this is definitely a favorite of mine.
Yeah, where was it for me? Like 90 or something?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it way up there, but yeah, no, this is a one. It gets better each time I see it, honestly. So
totally.
Yeah, total respect for that one. Yeah, on to my 31. Actually got a little run of comedies here, so it's another one from 2008.
Nice, dude.
and it's the Coen Brothers Burn After Reading. Have you seen Burn After Reading?
I actually have not seen. Is this the one with Brad Pitt in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen this.
This is a fantastic DC comedy that I don't want to really spoil a lot about, but George Clooney and Frances McDormand are having the time of their life with their kind of characters. And George Clooney's having an affair with Tilda Swinton, who's married to John Malkovich's character, who gets fired from the government for having a drinking problem. And Brad Pitt plays this stupid, ditzy personal trainer. It's just all these idiots kind of going around, and they have some like exceptionally dangerous information amongst themselves, and just like it is just, I don't want to really spoil much about it. It's hilarious. It's very, very smart, well written, not boring at all. And just like, honestly, J.K. Simmons is amazing in it. Richard Jenkins is great in it. Tilda Swinton, John Malkovich, Brad Pitt, Frances McDormand, George Clooney. Yeah, just check this one out. It is not what you'd expect, I think. But
yeah, the only thing I ever see about it is the Brad Pitt gif of him doing like, you know, the fucking hip thrust with him. And he's got the Walkman on. That's all like I know about this movie.
Yeah, and there's just like some surprisingly dark humor in this movie as well. And you know, the Coens, they make great movies, and I'm kind of love that.
Nah, dude, nah. They're like the worst directors.
Yeah,
and not
for sure,
the best ever.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So I have to check it out, dude. I'm not. I have not seen all the Coen Brothers movies. This one, and I know there's a couple other ones that I need to check off the list, but I'm gonna have to add it now.
Yep.
I'm a sucker for Ethan and Joel's work. They have an outstanding portfolio now. So, okay, adding to my watch list right now. So, is there anything that you have seen this past week that you would like to recommend to anyone that's watching this right now or will watch?
Well, I mean, one that I would not recommend is one I saw this week. It was the first 2024 movie of the year that I'm seeing in theaters. We did a review of it that just premiered on Why We Love Horror, or it's about to, which is Night Swim. Not a great movie. I know.
No.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. But yeah, definitely not my favorite movie of that I've seen in 2024 so far. In the past week, I do want to point out that I did watch True Lies. That was great.
Isn't it ridiculous, dude? Isn't it like so over the top?
Yeah, I was actually quite shocked by how much I liked that movie. So
yes, dude.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Yeah, in the last week, I mean, I rewatched Rosemary's Baby. If you haven't seen Rosemary's Baby, you should see
that's a good one.
Baby. That was really, really great on a rewatch still. And
underappreciated, man. I needed to rewatch that to truly appreciate it. The first time I saw it, I was way too young, and I was like, "This is boring, dude. It's like 7 days. Like, I don't care about this." And then I watched it again. I was like, "Man, this is." It's again one where it's like, gotta separate the art from the artist, but it's fucking good.
Yeah, that one's really good. And then Society of the Snow, I saw that. That was on Netflix. It's basically like the movie Alive from 1993.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're talking about that in the Dome.
Brought to a modern audience. You know, it's a little bit long. So, yeah, I do understand if some people got a little bored as they watch it, but it's just really well made. Has a great plane crash sequence and everything like that. But the characters are really well developed as well, and it's based on a true story. Jay Bayona, who did The Impossible, and a few other solid movies. So, yeah, that's on Netflix, Society of the Snow. So those are a couple of recs I would have from the last week or so.
Nice, dude. Well, I took one of your recommendations from, it was either last week or the week before. and I dug right into Fargo season 1, and I have got to co-sign that publicly, dude. I'm gonna go on record and say this is one of the best like one-off anthology seasons. It's up there with True Detective season 1 for me, man. I was blown away by how good this was, the performances. I loved it, and I was really resistant to this. I remember when it came out back in like 2014, and I was like, "What, dude? They're making Fargo? Dude, I don't even touch that. It's like a Coen Brothers movie. It's a Coen classic. Like, don't even touch it." And it was just like everyone was just like, "Nah, it's really good, man." Like my brother was like, "It's really good. Like, stop being a fucking idiot and just watch it." And like, the Aaron the dog, the influence was too much. Man, thank you for that one. Anyone that hasn't seen it, fucking start Fargo. It is really good. I'm into season 2, a couple seasons in. Yeah, dude, the first season was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a great shout, and yeah, really, I thought the first 3 seasons are all very watchable. The 4th season, not my favorite, but the 5th is right back to where we left off.
Jesus. Throwing a little shade there at the end.
The Paprika gang.
Little banter. Hey man, I can't really talk, dude. I was running my fucking yapper about Paprika last week and fucking got Inception performed on me. So, nah, man, it was through I don't know, through conflict growth or something. There's some fucking saying,
sure,
some bullshit about that. Anyways, dude, yeah, I think that's about all I got as far as recommendations. This was a good show though, dude. I got another good couple recs out of it. Need to see Burn After Reading.
Yep. Yeah, no, always a good time, no matter the time or the place, even if the time might be shifting to some nighttime countdowns after this week.
Yes, glad you brought that up. So yeah, anybody that's listening, you heard the man, and yeah, dude, just let me know. I'm my schedule is flexible, so
yep, it will be sometime at 8 or 9 o'clock, I think, on Thursdays.
Awesome, sounds good.
So we'll figure it out, but appreciate it as always, man.
Dude, thank you, man. This has been an awesome countdown, and like I got so many good recs, and it ain't stopping here, boys. It don't stop here. So
yeah, we're getting to the final quarter almost.
Man, it's gonna get crazy. So very much looking forward to it. And yeah, everyone that came through, appreciate you guys. Hope y'all have a great week. Hope y'all have some good recommendations yourselves now. So happy viewing. Smash the like button on your way out of the theater. File out in a nice, orderly fashion, please and thank you. Dude, Aaron, thank you again, man. So yeah, for Aaron the dog, I'm just my 2 cents, and we hope to catch you boys next week. Peace!